This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Say hello to our friends at Rock 100.5, the Cat in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and down at Portland's Classic Rock. We've got listeners jumping on right now at 92.3 KGON. Hello, Crowley. How are you? Good to see you. And Bayou 95.7 down in lovely New Orleans, Louisiana. Welcome to the program. Ryan Castle is coming in to sit and spin today with the 10 best songs that you can sing along to in the car. Men's Room Rules coming up, and yes, we'll drink and toast with a shot of the day. We've got a couple stories here. Believe it or not, there was a fight between two reporters, television-wise, in Milwaukee. Actually, three people were involved. Two guys, one woman, all three worked in television.
Right. By the way, this was not on air.
No, it was not. Right. They were at a baseball game, and this guy had been saying some things that weren't really nice to one of his coworkers. Well, that coworker, actually, her boyfriend worked across the street at the NBC affiliate. So you have two people working for the Fox affiliate. They don't get along, and the woman's boyfriend works for NBC. So the NBC guy comes over and says, hey, to the Fox guy, please don't say these disparaging things to my girlfriend. The Fox guy basically tore his ass a new one.
Does anybody else feel like this is like a weird proxy war between like Fox National News and MSNBC? You know what I'm saying? The door's going like Rachel Maddow hires this guy, Sean Hannity hires this guy. Like, look, you do the dirty work.
Well, the local affiliates don't do that. That's the weird thing about broadcasting. You know what I mean? Like, they don't act that way. It's just on the national scale where they act that way. It's like Scarborough against whoever Hannity on the national level with NBC or
MSNBC. But you're here, your local Fox guy like, that dumbass who hosts the evening news over it.
Obviously, they don't care about the same thing. The Brewers game, what's going on in town.
Yeah, I think this was just a personal one.
It was
definitely. The one guy that runs his mouth probably gets drunk and does it all the time.
Yeah, I get the feeling, because I assume...
And he can fight.
When I read the headline, my assumption is that like this happened on the air or on duty, but you realize, okay, these are adults at a baseball game, meaning they are plenty drunk. I mean, beer is being drunk, and you're in Milwaukee.
It is Milwaukee.
It is Milwaukee.
I have met more professional alcoholics from Wisconsin than I think I've met from any other place. As far as just being... Okay, let me take that back. If you're a fireman, I already know you're a professional alcoholic.
Sure.
There are certain jobs out there where I know that you can drink. Marines, I get it. But as far as an area goes, where I've just met more people...
Everybody in our people in our industry enjoy a beverage.
I certainly will not say different.
Right, exactly. But
lawyers.
But as far as geographics are concerned,
okay, everybody drinks a lot.
No. Those are just the two that are close to me. Is I hang out with lawyers and I work in radio.
Teachers,
teachers get drunk.
Yeah,
that's wine, though, man. That's wine. Either way,
wine will put you on your lips.
Whatever road you take. Why were you assaulted, and what were you assaulted with? That's our question. 844-999-OLA.
I mean, it's called the Brewers. You're at a Brewers
Milwaukee
game.
Brewers.
I'll say it again. That's the greatest sports name in sports.
You know,
any sport. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're a cricket team. I don't care if you're a
Very few teams are named after a profession, right? So you have Steelers because Pittsburgh steel industry. The Green Bay Packers did it wrong. I know it was meat packing, but that's not where the joke goes. Yeah. And then you have the Brewers, and you're like, that's cool.
Right. Totally.
That is cool. We had a couple of comments that came in with regard to the question. Why were you assaulted and what were you assaulted with? It says, as a prison officer, the worst is a milkshake.
And I'm assuming that's not a milkshake?
Hang on, a milkshake's got to be like human feces and water?
Poop, urine, and then he adds, and maybe blood mixed in anything, and then thrown at you. So that is...
Oh, man, what did you do to deserve that?
I'm going to tell you right now, you probably win the prize for the day. My ex-wife thought I was cheating on her. I didn't. She stopped her car in the middle of the street, jumped out, and stabbed me with a VW flip key while I was mowing the lawn.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Multiple pencil stabs as a kid.
I'm not saying that because you stabbed him with it. Do you realize how much, if you were to break off that key trying to stab him, do you know how much that replacement key would have cost?
Oh, it's like $800.
It's ridiculous. Don't ever do anything with that key other than protect it with all your life.
Look, if you got to stab someone with a key, honestly, you should just buy like one of the random keys from Home Depot.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't use those expensive keys.
Don't do that.
Multiple pencil stabs as a kid. Also, I was stabbed with a ballpoint pen and a ballpoint lodged on my finger for 2 years.
I've got lead in my bag.
Let's see, and I was assaulted with a machete. If you want to hear more details, and then I left her phone number. Like, no, share them.
Yeah, exactly.
You started it.
You called me.
Just finish. We'd love to know.
It's like Target's having a sale, so you call them and say, hey, bring that stuff to my house.
What are you guys selling? Right.
Okay, just bring it to me.
If you want to tell us, we are more than willing to
we're right
listen.
here, man. We're Target. You can come
I have
to the store
a
and buy
machete.
whatever you want.
Why do you have a machete?
Everybody in the city needs a machete.
Is that what you use for your personal protection?
Yeah, I haven't brandished it yet.
Is it sharp?
No, don't make it sharp.
I honestly, man, I don't know. Somebody gave it to me.
Right.
It's sitting in my house.
If you
I had it under my mattress for a while. It looks cool. It looks scary. I just figure
it's a machete.
If something happens and I break out the machete, people will be like, "This guy has lost his mind."
See, man, I agree with you.
You don't know, man. I think
a guy with a gun wants something from you. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to mug you or something. A guy with a machete, he does not know you. He doesn't care that it's you. He just wants to chop someone up.
Yeah.
There was a guy who lived next to me, and he had a pretty large piece of property, but the piece next to his, there was just a little bit, I don't know, before you got to the woods, and he had a sickle. And this guy was nuts.
Was he the Grim Reaper?
Man, but it's, you know how it's got a huge long handle on it, and he's just out there swinging the sickle, and I mean, it just like.
Oh, wait, was he clearing things?
Yeah.
Okay, then he's not crazy.
I know that, but just watching someone use a sickle, you look at him and go like, God, he's nuts. You know what I mean? He's not.
I mean, if he's not clearing anything, he's nuts.
I know that. I mean,
look, someone with a meat grinder.
Watching someone use a sickle, you're just like, he's crazy.
Well, at least he was using it.
Yeah, right. I still think
the intended purpose.
I still think if you saw someone, like, if you walked in someplace and someone's got a sickle, you'd be like, oh, God, he's got a sickle.
Well, I'm not going to try to rob the place. You're right. Like, okay.
That is a weird instrument to be holding for protection.
And it's something you sweep under, right?
Yeah.
You could cut someone right at the ankle off. If you had just enough momentum, you could literally nub them. Nub them at
you
the feet.
can cut vegetation, Miles.
Yes. Could you imagine nubbing somebody?
No.
I mean, just taking their feet clean off, like.
I mean, not on purpose.
Wow, that would suck.
Well, that's the other problem.
For
If you
them,
pull that stuff out.
Totally.
Like, I've told this story. I knew a guy, and I saw him get hit with a baseball bat, but he kind of just turned his shoulder and took it. So then he took the bat from that guy.
Oh, that's such a bad moment for the other dude.
No.
That is such a bad moment.
Right, so that's the problem.
How many times did he hit the other guy?
Oh, he hurt him.
Really?
Look, man, I think the worst moment in your life is when you hit someone with a baseball bat and then they take it from you.
Especially a metal one.
I was his friend, so it was one of the coolest moments I've ever seen in my life.
Were you like, yeah?
Basically.
I saw my buddy got
from
hit.
behind him.
That's your ass now.
Yeah. What about that bat? My buddy got hit with an Easton, man. You could hear it ding. He got hit right in the middle of the bat, man, because we were stealing Easter egg displays. Why were you assaulted, and what were you assaulted with? 844-999.
Why were you stealing Easter egg displays?
I told you, man. We got really drunk. We were in high school, and the one house in the neighborhood, this guy, it could be Flag Day, and he'd put up like 9 million flags.
Okay, he's that
This
guy.
was before the internet had a day for every day, but any holiday, he had 9 million things, and it just looked gaudy as hell. You know the person that puts up like 10 of those snow globes from Walmart in the front yard?
Yeah, we call them the people we hate.
Yeah.
Our people we love.
Yeah,
Ted,
exactly.
I know.
God forbid they're festive.
Right. So he had all these blow-up rabbits. So we got drunk, and there was about 10 of us, and we grabbed his
How many
parents.
rabbits did he have?
He had 30 out there. So we marched.
What a nice display.
But I'll never forget this, man. Like, I think it was my buddy Pat just sort of, kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit. So we're all just marching down the street, man. And he was ready.
Subtle. We're marching down the street singing, kill the rabbit.
So we go to this guy's house, and all of a sudden you just go, and all the rabbits start just like, they all start kind of just, and then all of a sudden I hear, boom, and I look up, man, and the owner's there, and he was waiting for us, man, and he's got this aluminum bat, and Brett's like on the ground, and I'm like, oh God, so
run!
We all got knives in our hands, but we don't want to stab anybody, so I'll just take off running. And then the weirdest thing happened was, like, we were running, we kind of ran, we didn't want to run right back.
Then the weird thing
we didn't
happened.
want to run right to Brett's house, because we didn't want to make it seem like that's where we came from, this neighborhood. We're only 4 houses down.
Yeah.
So we kind of went a roundabout way.
So I'm sure he didn't recognize it.
Yeah, but by the time we got back, Brett had gotten up, and he was home. He was like, Jesus Christ, man. He's like, looking at his back, like, dude. And I mean, he had this huge welt across his back, and perfect right in the middle of it. But that guy just clocked his ass with an Easton bat.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah. He was a casualty.
What?
I should say, my buddy, while he grabbed that bat and looked like the badass, he had the biggest, nastiest bruise for weeks.
Yeah, but as far as who had a bad day, your buddy's got a bruise, the other guy, think about this. I'm going to hit, because if I have a baseball bat, I'm feeling very confident that I have the upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I hit this guy, and I'm sure, in that moment with the adrenaline, he doesn't flinch. That's bad. Now he has snatched the bat out of my hand.
That's worse.
And now I can't imagine the thought going through your head in that moment. Just, oh, no, man. And I mean, I've been in scary situations, but like, that's entirely different. That adrenaline rush, because other scary situations I've been in were not personal, right? The car flipped. It's not personal. It's something that happened. Jump out of a plane. Not personal. guy with a baseball bat that I just assaulted with it. This is going to be bad.
You take the weapon from anybody that attacks you with a weapon, and it's going to be used against you. It's no matter what it is, it's not going to be good.
Guaranteed.
Why were you assaulted, and what were you assaulted with? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Susan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Well, also, I've been hit by a baseball bat also, but that's not my story.
We all have.
And it's not
okay.
fun.
Yeah. Why were you hit with a baseball bat?
Well, it was actually an accident, but I was behind a safety fence playing softball, and the bat ricocheted off the fence, comes behind the fence, and hits me flat in the forehead.
Wow. Did that knock you out?
Oh, I was out.
Yeah,
I had 12 stitches. It was unbelievable. But that's actually not even my story.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm glad it didn't kill any brain. I'm glad it didn't kill any brain cells on you.
Right?
Yeah. Thank God you're
They
lucid.
have. I don't know. I have never noticed losing them. So
Okay, that's a good sign.
Not saying it did, but you can't tell if it did.
I feel fine.
But no, so what happened really was in my early 20s, I had a great-looking boyfriend. I mean, he was great. And he had a best friend, and his best friend's girlfriend met us one weekend, and she decided she wanted my boyfriend instead of her boyfriend. And he wouldn't break up with me, So one night, she had been laying in wait, like, behind my car, a little ways behind my car, with a gun in the car waiting for me.
Oh, boy.
But we surprised her when we came out too early, and she was doing something. So she comes running over and just grabs my neck. She's got these long claw fingernails, grabs my neck, starts choking me, both my boyfriend and her boyfriend. We were trying to pull her off of me, and finally mine goes, just drive, just go. And I went flying, but the next day I had bruises and claw marks all over my neck and my left shoulder, and my boyfriend, from the door having to slam him, had a huge knot and bruise across the forearm of his arm.
What happened to this relationship?
Well, my boyfriend's best friend obviously broke up with the girl.
Yeah. And what about?
And no, we were strong for a lot longer.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. Man, I get a feeling that happens to her more than it happens to most people. Mm-hmm. Just a sense I get.
Why were you assaulted, and what were you assaulted with? 844-999-OLA. More of your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
That looks like hell. Oh, my God.
Guessing halibut.
Jesus Christ.
Not that I would eat that.
Okay.
Wow.
Coming up, the Drunken Charge. Ryan Castle's into Sit and Spin. Don't mind us. The 10 best sing-along car songs of all times on the way. Also, just a hate and anger and intense face.
What is that?
God damn it.
Sorry.
So angry.
I thought it was undercooked chicken.
We'll review some men's room rules coming up. Our question, why were you assaulted? I don't know still. And what were you assaulted with? 844-99-OLA, whatever the frick the telephone
Obviously,
number
it has not been bugging me.
Jesus Christ, you're right, though.
That's
God damn, I just saw that for the first time. Oh, boy, I'm not sure.
What are those?
I don't know, Daniel.
Hello, Xander. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Man, it sounds like you guys got assaulted by something in there.
Yeah, we did, man. We got assaulted by just horrible.
Assault on the senses.
Yeah.
God damn.
Oh, Jesus.
All right,
Oh, well, my story is a little bit more teenager drama kind of crap. Basically, I was assaulted pretty much for no reason. The setup is...
Nah, your voice. I can feel it already. I mean, that's the only thing I know about you. So that's why I'd assault you. But please continue.
Well, no, actually, I was being bullied by, yeah, pretty much. But I was hanging out with one dude who I didn't realize, acts differently around this other person who just for whatever reason didn't like me. And, while we were hanging out at one point, dude picked up a stick. And I just kind of thought about it, and I was like, dude, don't hit me with that stick. And, well, while we were walking, at one point my back was turned. He just comes up and smacks me with the stick.
How old are you?
Breaks. We were about 16 at the time. I am 26 now, so this was a decade ago.
Yeah, there's no reason to break out a weapon at that point. I don't think. I think it's if you want to get in a fight, man. I know the rules have changed a little bit, but it just should be fisticuffs.
What? How big was this stick?
The stick was like
branch
about
size,
4 foot long and maybe inch in diameter.
All right, to me that's like that's an upper branch.
Yeah.
Which is worse than a stick. You know, a twig is perfect. A stick sucks, but a branch that...
Oh, but a switch. Man, oh, man. Remember when you ever have to go get a switch?
Yeah, but there's something about old people know how to find the perfect density of wood to rip your ass up.
Mm-hmm. Switch on the back of the legs.
Well, luckily this stick, I mean, like, it didn't really hurt very much. He hits me with it, and it breaks over my back, and I turn, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? And he ends up this is when he punches me. He hits me like right in the gut, right in that spot where it knocks the wind out of you. So it knocked the freaking wind out of me. I'm just like, oh, you know, and so he comes at me with the stick again with what's left of it, and I block it with my arm, and it breaks again. And
Sander, no wonder you got your ass beat.
Once again,
your potty mouth.
Here are the 7
I'd beat your ass
words you
too.
can't say on the radio.
No, the stick though.
Maybe it was like a pot.
Yeah,
Sucker,
like a pipe.
mother, and please keep those words in mind.
Beaten with a
when
wooden
calling.
ladle.
Yeah.
Now back to the program.
Where's he going? All right, Xander, you got to watch your potty ass.
No, look, man. See, here's the problem, right? And because anytime you're talking about getting your ass beat, in particular, you are reliving the moment, so it's kind of hard to keep certain words under wraps. And completely understood. But.
Were you able to fight back at all, or did you just sit there and take a beating?
I had to take the beating, and because I had the wind knocked him out of me, and he ended up just walking away at the point. So I got up, and honestly, I wasn't hurt at all. And as far as physically, I just had the wind knocked out of me. That was it, and I was just okay. Whoa, holy moly! And this happened during school time, so I ended up getting called in. Nobody reported this nobody reported this out of the 4 of us out of the 3 of us who were there. But apparently, someone saw it, so they reported it to the school security, and that's where I ended up getting called in, and it ended up actually becoming a whole court case, or not court. Yeah, I ended up going to court at one point, and because I pressed charges because of 2 days more, I was assaulted on a couple more times.
By the same dude?
Yeah, by him and him.
What was Xander? What was the real reason they did not like you? Well, you know what it is. What is it?
I really don't. They just did not like me.
Were you the scrawny kid, goofy look? I mean, if they targeted you, there's something.
Scrawny, goofy.
Okay, there you go. Right, you're an easy target. And remember one thing about bullies, man, because bullies really, to me, and I don't mean this as an insult to bullies, not that I care, but it's just, all right, look. You know, human beings typically, when someone gets in a fight, at some point someone says, pick on someone your own size. Because obviously, right, it's just not fair. Okay, but as much as we like to say that's badass, think about most mammals that hunt for meat.
Yeah.
They go after the old.
Oh, yeah, they go after the infirm.
The one that's so the only odd thing about a bully is, like, you take the bitch's way out, which, yes, is also the lion's way, but, like, that's why they're picking on you, because you didn't look like someone who turned around and whipped their ass. A true bully, I mean, if you're a badass, they go pick on the big guy. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
you want to dethrone the champion.
And the only problem with bullying now is, like, it's all the social online stuff. And look, I know they call it bullying. That's just bitch assery. I'm sorry. A bully, at least the worst they do, right, is they will physically say what they have to say. So I can almost respect the bullies I had in, like, elementary school, because you knew who it was. Their name was not Dimebag 69. Living in Kansas City, talking to someone, and at least this cat sat in the class with you, and if he had a problem, look, you don't want to deal with them, but they stood by what they said.
What I've noticed from my own children and what they've had to go through is that it becomes then a bandwagon thing, and a bunch of kids jump on, and then they assault somebody online, as far as the point of just making them feel like they're absolutely zero, and they take sides that way. And then the next thing you know, it's just I've seen some stuff where it's typical stuff as far as that age, as far as being mean goes, but it's just elevated to such a bigger level when it reaches that point. People jump on, it starts to get nasty, and it's like,
I mean, it's all terrible, but on some token, the only thing I'll say about the bully thing is just it doesn't end.
No.
Like, who wins a court case? The person with more money.
Yep.
The person that can outlast you, right? Like, sorry, like, it goes on even as adults,
and
right?
They just don't call it bullying. But, like, look, man, was it Mark Zuckerberg sitting in front of the Senate, talking about whatever he's talking about. I mean, they're missing the point with him. Jesus Christ. Anyway, but they're going on and on. But we all know they might scold him, but it's like he's Mark Zuckerberg. And I think the guy, I mean, he is what he is, right? But we know what he's worth. Nothing's going to happen to the guy. Why are you even wasting our time with this? You're not going to do anything, and we know why. Now, if your name's Rollo Johnson and you're running a website, you're going down. Mark Zuckerberg, nothing's going to happen. He's going to say some crap. Everyone's going to get mad for 2 days, right? And he's out.
Yeah.
That dude's just like, nothing's going to. Are you kidding me? It's like if they subpoenaed Bill Gates. Like, you're not going to do anything. We understand how this works, man.
Why were you assaulted, and what were you assaulted with? 844-999-OLA.
Yeah, Martha Stewart wasn't in Gen Pop in like a tough prison.
And what do they get her on? Insider trading.
Yeah, trading.
Insider trading. And they were just pissed because she wouldn't give up who the hell.
By the way,
Rollo, by the way, is Cleveland's stepson.
Is he for real? Damn.
You can do that.
The only other Rollo I know was from Sanford.
You can do that legally if you're in Congress or in the House of Representatives.
Oh, well, keep in mind. So insider trading, obviously, if you have inside information on big mergers that are going to happen, a big purge, companies that are about to go under, they don't want you to trade with that information because obviously it gives you an unfair advantage, right? So Martha Stewart goes down for that. No big deal. Whatever. I would do it, too, if I could and I had the money. I'm not going to lie to you. So Congress, however, could do it legally. Well, 60 Minutes did an expose like 2 years ago. A lot of people already knew this, but when 60 Minutes put it out there, they were like, oh, hey, yeah, that's an oversight. It's not. It's an oversight, so they corrected the problem. And keep in mind, as crazy as politics is right now, right, where people are just firmly entrenched in on this side or that side, one thing that is absolutely bipartisan,
making money,
is that, man. And that affected, and you want to talk about some people, Republicans, Democrats, liberals, they came together in 24 hours and got this done, okay? So they made it so that, you know what, you're right. We can't do it either, being that I'm on, like, the committee that oversees this stuff, Nancy Pelosi, and makes all this money, okay? About 2 weeks after they illegalized it, they made it legal again. Oh, yeah. Because everyone turned their attention elsewhere, and obviously it's easy to get distracted now, but basically they went back, and they didn't make it a big public thing, but they're like, hey, man, no one's paying attention anymore. Let's get back to making that money.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do it, but we can.
That's why Martha Stewart was really in jail.
That's exactly it.
Why were you assaulted, and what were you assaulted with? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Luke. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
How you guys doing today?
Good, Luke. How are you?
Fantastic.
Okay.
So I was assaulted with a fish, not just once, but a couple times.
Was Led Zeppelin in town?
No.
Okay.
My little brother, actually.
Just wanted to know what direction that was going. All right.
You got to tell me you're on a fishing boat someplace.
Well, no. So the first time was actually me and my little brother fishing, and one fish actually got both of our baits. We reel it in, start arguing over it, and he just grabbed it when I turned around to grab the little knockout bat and smacked me in the face with it.
So I'm assuming that's a salmon if you got that big of a fish on the line, right?
Well, no, that one was actually a trout. We did work at a salmon farm, actually.
What the hell? How big of a trout did you catch where you had to knock the damn thing on the head, dude?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 pounds. It was
all right, I was going to say that is a sizable trout, but keep going.
Oh, yeah, it was a good trout. But we did work on a salmon farm, and, I mean, we're talking about 20-pound fish, and one time he really caught me off guard, grabbed one by the tail and just full-on swung it and knocked me on my backside.
To be fair, that should always catch you off guard. I just feel like you should never be in a situation where you feel prepared for someone to swing a 20-pound salmon at you. Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? Like, that should catch you off guard all the time.
After about the second time, I started kind of paying attention to him and seeing it coming. So
okay. Well, did you ever assault him with a fish? Like, did this become like a game of sack tap where it goes back and forth, or is it just you getting hit with fish?
Oh, most definitely. On top of that, fish ejaculate and fish eggs getting shot at each other. Definitely.
Yeah, I guess you are working at a farm, so good times.
You already smell.
Now, let me ask you, as far as the salmon that are farmed, what are you basically feeding them? Are you feeding them dog food?
No. So they're actually fish pellets that have, either medication, antibiotics.
Food.
Excuse me.
It's dog food. Pellet dried food that has nutrients in it and comes from lamb, chicken.
Well,
beef,
no, there's another.
fowl.
You can make it sound
It's
better,
dog
Miles.
food.
You could call it astronaut food.
I could call it astronaut
You could
food.
say MRE, right?
It grows in water. Think of it that way. Like it expands in the stomach. And
Okay, you
provides
could call it
nutrients.
oodles of noodles.
You could.
Who
yes.
hasn't had their, dehydrated scrambled eggs brought back to life
Yeah.
by the miracle of hot water?
I just knew that, like, when you caught trout in West Virginia, they would stock the rivers and the ponds. You could go and you could fish, and they put up a stock schedule. Like, here, we're going to dump in on this bridge at this time, and you go, and there would just be guys down there, like, with their ugly sticks, just waiting for the truck to come across the top of the bridge and dump all the fish in. Problem is that you can catch as many of them as you want, but you need to take like 3 or 4 weeks for those fish to just start eating normal food. They taste like dog food. The fish taste like Alpo because at the farm, that's what they've been eating their entire life.
Right.
So you can catch them, but you got to throw them back in. There's just no practical reason to bring them home because they taste like ass.
I bet your dog's like, dude, just come on, hook me up.
Come on. Why were you assaulted? What were you assaulted with? 844-999-OLA.
Now, why do you think that is, though? Okay, because, I understand you eat something that's like dog food, you taste like dog food, but then you take any shellfish or pig, they should taste like poop, but they don't.
Because poop tastes great.
Or poop tastes a hell of a lot better than we've ever been led to believe.
That's true.
That
It's like
could be
Brussels
true.
sprouts, taste better than it smells.
Crayfish.
But there's certain things in humans that
Are we going back to cannibal well?
no, more of an intimate well. People could tell a different in
Oh, garlic.
taste,
Yeah. Have you been drinking orange soda again? No, I'm sorry.
right? Or like, what did you eat this weekend?
Sorry, I finished a little early. Hello, Meg. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi, hola.
Hola.
So the story is like super old, but it never gets old whenever I tell it. I'm a fighter. Like I was trained in Krav Maga.
You said
And
I'm
I went
sorry.
home on like a after party kind of thing when I went back to Texas, and this girl, she came dressed like super bloody.
Hey, wait, wait, hang on. Are we on speakerphone?
Meg, we can't hear you, man. You keep breaking up, and it's
Oh.
crackling so much, it's like overmodulating to the point where we just can't understand what you're saying.
She's a fighter. She's trained in Krav. What's it? Krav Maga, the Israeli thing.
You sound like, this part, you sound like you're on AM radio, and then you're using words we don't understand.
And it's just boring sports talk.
So you're a fighter, and you train in, what is it called now?
I train in Krav Maga.
Did she just call me a name? Should I be angry?
Say that again?
Krav Maga is Israeli close combat.
Yeah,
Oh, is
it's
that like what the soldiers,
yeah.
Okay.
It is super violent and super effective.
Okay, I've heard
Yeah.
about it.
Okay.
Your objective is to kill always.
Kids?
How did you get involved in that, Meg? Was it over?
My brother-
Was it
my
over
brother
Passover
trained
dinner? And you
with-
just said like, let's go do this, or what happened?
No, my brother who raised me, he trains with the army actually.
Does he
Like,
train?
US Army.
Does he train with the Israeli army?
No.
Okay.
He learned from a couple rangers, and they kind of took it and they started businesses with it.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So I went home to like a party, like back in Texas. I went to like this party to like welcome me home, and I'm just wearing like jeans, Romeos, a sweatshirt. This female that I've never seen before comes to this party, and she's dressed like a total like everything's showing. And this girl I'm talking is like a 250. We're all getting drunk, and towards the end of the night, I'm trying to leave. And she comes waddling down into my face and goes, "Did you call me a whore?" And I'm like, "Honey, if you didn't dress like it." And she was all upset that I was getting all the attention. So as I turned away from her, she sucker punched me. And unbeknownst to her,
You're an Israeli killing machine.
I opened up a big can of I opened up a big can of potato Lockies on you.
yeah, as soon as she hit me, my whole like being saw red. So I got her into a guillotine and I drop kicked her, got her down, and I'm choking her out. And her friend is trying to pull me off of her, and her friend like grabs me by the hair, but somebody like pulls her off of me.
Was it your hair for real though, or was it like your actual hair?
No, that's the
Because half the time when I see these fights on
my hair.
video, it's like you see the extensions come out. You see.
No, look,
everything
man, I'll tell you
flying.
right now, the black woman invented the, like, prehensile tail. So you can grab her by the hair. She's like, "It's a weave, bitch," and then she can come back and
Look,
get you.
if you can go to a Costco in Texas, I'm not sure what on a woman is real or not. That's why I'm asking. Like, is this your really hair? Is this really your hair?
This is definitely my hair.
Okay.
But from under her
But
arms.
She tries to grab my hair, and like somebody, I don't know who, but they pulled her off of me.
But I'm choking this female out, and she passes out, and I roll her off of me. And then that friend that was pulling on my hair, her friend comes out of nowhere, too, and tries to hit me. So then I dropped her. I don't know, I don't know if you guys know what an anaconda is, but it's where
if it's not a snake, no.
You put, your full weight on top of them when they go for your knees, and you drop down on top of them, and you choke them that way.
So you how many ladies did you choke out at this party, Meg?
Just 2.
Okay. All right.
Just 2.
Just 2.
Good times.
I like her.
Good times. Jesus.
What was the name of that Israeli thing, Ted?
I always say it wrong. It's like Crawl McGraw.
Crawl. Yeah, it sounds like a country singer more than that.
It's just right. The Israeli army did it for years, and then they've taught it to other people, but it's a very specific martial art.
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga. My name is Krav Maga.
Oy vey. Why were you assaulted? What were you assaulted with? 844-999-OLA. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Riot Council Drug and Charge coming in to Sit and Spin, the 10 best sing-along car songs of all times on the way as Sit and Spin is coming up. Our question today, dealing with being assaulted. We do have a story here. A 41-year-old woman named Lori, let's call her Lori, who lives in Staten Island, New York. She recently had a falling out with her best friend. Well, Lori's ex-best friend went out and got herself a new best friend, and apparently that made Lori jealous and furious. So when all 3 women were at a PTA meeting at their kid's Catholic school, Lori ran up to her ex-best friend's new best friend and started to choke her out. Damn. The cops came. They arrested Lori. But that was not the end. Less than 24 hours later, Lori went to her ex-best friend's house, threw a brick through the window, then went inside with a gun. It was a starter pistol that only fires blanks, but still no one knew that. The cops came. They say Lori pointed the gun at them, so they fired 5 shots and hit her in the shoulder.
Yeah. She
was taken to the hospital. She is facing several charges. Our question, why were you assaulted? What were you assaulted with? 844-999-OLA.
Man, oh man, good times. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, Betula.
Hola. All right, so why'd you get assaulted?
Action.
I was assaulted with the Camaro, and it was because I was running my mouth.
Were you in Jersey?
No, Massachusetts.
Okay, all right.
Close enough.
Was it an IROC? Did it have T-tops?
No. It was a classic Camaro. He actually was sorry he did it because I scratched it when I went over.
So the reason he's sorry that he hit you with his car is because it left a scratch.
Yes. Yeah. I've been talking S for a while, and we were at a party, and he left because he didn't want to fight, and I'm a little dude, so everybody was kind of punking him out a little bit on it, and I was egged on, and alcohol was involved, and so I ran around a different street to kind of cut him off as he was trying to leave. And basically, as I was walking up to his car, shaking my head, letting him know it was going to happen, he let me know not right now, and just pretty much ran me right the hell right over.
You didn't go over the top of the car?
Oh, I went over the top. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah,
It's so low to the ground. I hope you pop up. Were you okay?
It wasn't good. I mean, my shoulder got messed up and got my bell rung pretty good, and we ended up, handling it later, but you won that round for sure.
So you guys you did get in a physical confrontation later on?
Yeah. We used to drink at the same spot, and he didn't know I was there, came back a couple of days later, and we used to throw darts, and he opened the door, and I had a dart in my hand. He tried to turn and run, and I buried that thing in his back, and at that point, we went ahead and just finished it then.
Okay. Are you that good at darts?
I used to be good, but I mean, it wasn't the smallest target. It worked out.
Yeah, well, as long as if you spend time, look, we all know if you've been in a bar, if you're real good at pool or you're real good at darts, that goes a long way in determining how much time you spend in a pub. Sure. So the better you are at it, seemingly, you spend a lot, unless you get a pool table in your basement or something.
Yeah, but even then, man, look, the one thing about pool or bar pool tables, most of them I've played, unless you're at a real, billiards hall. Until you get used to that table, you'll play people and you're like, that's the worst shot I've seen. And then you realize, much like golfers, the cue ball does this weird roll that has no physical explanation other than the table slanted, There's quicksand in the middle of it. But, like, once you know the table, then you can do pretty well. Like, if I go to Castle's house and we play pool, he has a smooth pool table. He still kicks my ass, but that's one kind of game. If we go to the bar and play their pool, everything's like in slow motion. Because the felt's been worn out. You know what I mean? Like, this table is so dented and messed up.
I've never been good enough for it to matter.
Yeah, look, I don't think I am either. It's just, I notice it, but you're right. It does not make me worse at my game.
Yeah, it's amazing though with the vehicle. Just people, what they think that's. I don't know
what
it's used as a weapon a lot.
What, pool cues? What?
No. I'm talking about a car.
Well, sure.
I've been at parties where people just started driving at people and stuff, just trying to run them over and weird stuff.
It's
granted it was in the field,
yeah.
but it was still weird to watch. Dude,
do you care where you get hit by a car? Well,
yeah. I mean, it's just it was. I don't know. I just think that was.
Well, it's a car.
Like I'm leaving, and all of a sudden, somebody turns around, like, oh, he's not leaving.
He's going to try to run us over.
Why were you assaulted, and what were you assaulted with? 844-999-OLA. Hang on, still to come. We've got the Drunken Charge, Ryan Castle, and the Sit and Spin. 10 best sing-along car songs of all times that is coming up, as well as Men's Room Rules.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.